Yes, people, it's your boy Harvey Bishop. You're locked into Unity Radio, and I'm joined right now by a hip-hop icon, beyond a legend, someone who's contributed so much to the game. If it weren't for them, I don't know where hip-hop would be today. Don't know how many artists would have careers today. He's contributed to so many albums, including two of arguably the greatest albums of all time. N.W.A Straight Outta Compton and Dr Dre's The Chronic. It's the one and only, the D.O.C. Pleasure to meet you. So we're obviously here in the UK at Ratcliffe FC. You know, shout out to Taurus Security Group, Marcus, everyone. Shout out everyone at Ratcliffe. First of all, how's the UK treating you? How's Manchester treating you?
I love it. I'm moving back.
There we go.
I'll be here next week. I'm gonna move into that flat right over there.
Definitely. I mean, it's amazing to have you here.
So friendly, and the kids are so friendly. Everybody's treating me very well.
Amazing. Obviously, we've got so much to talk about, your school, the new movie, but I want to take it back a bit. You know, obviously, you're such a prolific voice in hip-hop through your songwriting, the people that you've worked with. Where did the music start for you? Where did the writing start for you? Obviously, you're from Dallas. When did you fall in love with music?
As a kid, you know, music is always a part of my house. My dad was a singer when I was a young boy, and I loved my dad. I wanted to be like him, so I started singing at a really young age, and I was always a good reader as a kid. My grandmother, she was a part of the generation that didn't know how to read, so I would read her mail to her, and she loved that.
Yeah.
And so it made me want to be a better reader. And so when rap came, I had all of these words already in my head, so it made me pretty good. Instantly, I was sort of a neighborhood guy. He was the guy, you know.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, I met Dr. Dre and all those other guys, and the rest is history. Definitely.
So you're obviously an OG in the game. You know, your first record, 1987, obviously featured on N.W.A and the Posse, which is, of course, the compilation album. How did that relationship with Dre and Ruthless and N.W.A come about, and how did that kind of snowball into you moving over to Compton and working with them on more of kind of a permanent basis?
Yeah, so they made a record called Boys in the Hood, around the time that I was with this group called the Feel the Fresh Crew. And we had a record called I Hate to Go to Work. And Dre came to Dallas with Eazy. And he heard me rapping in the bathroom. And he was like, wow, you are incredible. If you came to California, I guarantee you we'd be rich. But I didn't know anybody in California, so I told him, no, I'm not fucking, I'm not going to California. But about 6 months later, my mother says, I jumped out of high school. My mom says, if you're not going to school, you're going to the army. Didn't want to go to the army.
California,
so I called Dre and says, does that offer still stand? He said, yeah. And so my friends helped me buy a plane ticket, and I just went,
And the rest is history.
Yeah, as they say.
So obviously, we got to talk about Straight Outta Compton. That's obviously one of the greatest, most impactful albums of all time. You know, it's as relevant now as ever, and we know what it's done for the culture now, for music. Talk about those sessions. Like, did you guys go in knowing you were making something amazing? Was it just friends working on music? Did you have any idea what you were working on was going to change the world?
No, it was just friends making music, but we knew it was great. You kind of know when it's that good, but we didn't know it was going to do that, but it didn't take long. It popped really fast and spread really quickly, and so it didn't take very long at all for it to explode.
Yeah.
And we knew that we had created a movement, and it was just about sustaining that movement. Unfortunately, money comes and egos come and things change. And it didn't last very long, but it was impactful. It was so much fun in those early days. It was just a blast, bro.
And for the record, parental discretion is advised. Is my favourite track on the album. It's got my favourite opening verse on the album. So I had to throw that in there. Something I wanted to touch on, I guess, is, you know, especially that time, the kind of rise of West Coast hip hop. It's like everyone's kind of in the limelight, fighting to be in the limelight, fighting to be number one. And something that you continuously could do was kind of sit back, play the position, and contribute to so much amazing music, but kind of, you know, letting everything else kind of take the forefront. I mean, it shows to me that it's the music that's the most important thing to you, not kind of the money and the fame. And yeah, was that like a conscious decision to kind of not just focus on your career, but try and push everyone, Dre, Snoop, and play that role?
Yeah, after the wreck happened, I was forced into that. You know, I tell people I drove from the back seat, and that was my, you know, that was the position I had to play. I had to suck it up and give my best, which I did. Because even though I might have wanted to be in the front, it wasn't my turn. I needed a win. I desperately wanted to win because I was about to win before that wreck, you know?
Yeah.
And so I needed a win. So I put everything into those guys. And Snoop is a willing student, great kid. He allowed me to live through him. You know, and so when he won, felt like I won, and so it was brilliant.
I mean, I think it's certain to say that without your input on Dre and Snoop and that whole situation, they wouldn't be where they are now, the albums weren't, so I hope you know that, you know, the part you played.
No, I do not. Oh, yeah.
Now, obviously, we're in Manchester at Ratcliffe, we're in the UK. I wanted to talk a little bit about the documentary, the movie. It's not out in the UK yet, but I've heard amazing things. I've seen you on Drink Champs and N.W.A and EFN and their kind of reaction to it. Obviously, yours is a story that's so important to hip hop and needs to be told. How long's it been in the process, the documentary? Why now? Like, what can kind of fans expect from it?
Well, bro, I'm a very spiritual person, and although I may be the vehicle that God chose, this story is not just about rap, and it's not just about me. It's about us. It's about persevering and fighting through that struggle, no matter what it is. It's about the 50-year-old who is about to get a divorce. He's about to lose his family. He thinks the world is over, and he's gonna drink himself into a hole. My story allows him to see, just hold on to that faith and keep pushing, and that light on the other end will show up. It took 35 years for it to show up for me, but it's here. And just by virtue of me being in Manchester, it's the beginning of the next chapter for me. I used to be a teacher of Snoop, but now there's a whole city, maybe a whole country of Snoops that I can put my fingers on. Maybe a whole world of Snoops, you know, becoming a real ambassador to this music in a time where we need more unity and less division, more love, like the guy from Liverpool said, less hate. And I feel like I lived a life that has put me in a position to play that role very well.
That's amazing, man. 100%. One of the best lyricists in the game, songwriters, without a doubt. But I'm curious to know your kind of top 5 of all time. You're like Mount Rushmore of lyricists. Who's on your list?
Yeah, my song, The Formula. Gives you 4 of the 5, and I'm probably 5, and Kendrick is probably 6. So I got my 6-man starter as that's run our energy. Along with the wisdom is KRS.
Of course.
Sense of a rich man is Slick Rick. Knowledge in the rhythm is Rakim. That's the formula. Number 5 is D.O.C. Kendrick Lamar is my 6th man off the bench. And we killing everybody.
I'm not going to argue with that. Definitely not going to argue with that one.
That's the championship squad.
Definitely. Again, I guess, you know, you've been in the industry, you've been doing it for so long. In terms of kind of, obviously the industry is constantly changing. It's so different to what it was now. But for the next generation of songwriters and lyricists and artists, what do you think are some of the advice you can give that's kind of always going to stand the test of time in terms of being successful?
The most important thing any artist must have, first of all, there are 3 keys. Maybe you don't have to have, but to be an artist that is going to be able to create classic art and stand the test of time. This is classic music. You have to have 2 or 3 things, in my humble opinion. You have to have the voice. You have to have a look. You have to have the skill set to pull it off. You have to have 2 of those 3 things, and you can get in and make it happen. That being said, being authentically you is what's going to get you over. Trying to sound like or be like someone from somewhere else is not going to work for you. And believe in yourself. Where you really believe and you really want and you really desire, it'll come out in what you do. Where you're not just doing something because you think you're good at it. You're doing that shit because you know you're good at it and you want them to know you're good at it. Not you want them to say, hey, you're good, you're pretty good, mate. You want them to walk away going that. You know, that's what I wanted. And so being in Manchester, and I think a lot of what I hear from the artists in the UK is that they're having problems with their identity and their authenticity.
Definitely.
And their delivery, the belief in what they say, right? It's not coming from their balls. It's coming from their throat. You gotta reach down into your nuts and squeeze, right? And make it come out of there in a way that makes, you know, you gotta, you know, cause I can remember them say you can only get 1 shot. What are you gonna do with that 1 shot? You're gonna lay it out there and think it's gonna, or you're gonna throw it out there and make sure it bangs up against the thing, you know?
That's a mic drop moment right there. Couldn't have been a better answer. Now, 2025, we're halfway through, the year's flown by, but what's your plans for the rest of the year going into the next year? Obviously, we talked about the movie. You've got your school. I don't know if you talk about that a little bit.
So I started when I did my documentary. Fantastic film.
I'm excited to see it.
So good. At one of the scenes at the end, you see me teaching kids. Now I didn't know when I did that it would be a calling, and a year later I would be building a school. But I started doing the movie 2020 during COVID. I found out that after COVID, when things went back to normal, whatever that is, the truancy rate in the super block where I'm from was nearly 50%. That means half the kids said, fuck it, they're not going back, you know? And that's because you're not giving them what they desire. You're not giving them what they want. You're giving them what you think they're supposed to have in order to be successful. That is not going to work. Now, when you take sports, in the UK, it would be football.
Of course.
If you give the kids access to football, they'll go and work hard because they think it's going to give them opportunity to play. Same thing in America. If you play baseball or basketball or football, those kids show up. They're making 3.0s in the classroom, they're doing great. But the kids that don't run and jump so high, they say screw it. The ones that want to do what you're doing, they think they can go to the streets and do it. The ones that want to get behind the camera or behind a microphone or, make music, they say forget school. So my school is in 4 verticals: gaming, music, the creator economy, and software development. To me, those are the jobs of tomorrow. It's also the jobs that the kids are doing on their own. That's what they want to do. Twitch and video games and video design and graphic design and all these things that they want to do. Create a vehicle for them to get access to these places they want to be. But you can't be a part of my school if you're not in your own school. I mean, you go to school, then you can come be a part of this, and I'll connect you to these things that you want to be connected to. I'll find you jobs, I'll find you opportunity, but you can't do any of it if you're not in school. But that was my whole mission statement. My city got behind it. They gave me $300,000 to seed programming. Other people jumped in, and it's really started to grow into something special. Snoop Dogg just gave me $200,000 a couple months ago.
Amazing.
And so it's just blowing up. Yale University, New York University, Howard University have seen what I'm doing and become partners. It's growing so fast that when I got in touch with Marcus and came over here and met these kids, I see that there's an opportunity to do that here. Like to build a bridge between the US and the UK and use technology and music and all of these opportunities to give these kids here a chance to learn, to use my connections, to use my friends, to use the benefit of my knowledge, to take this pain and pour it out and make flowers in the ground, And so that's what my heart is. I'm really into it. It means a lot to me. And I have if you want to know anything about the school, you would go to doccares.org. That's D.O.C.C.A.R.E.S.org. Everything about the school is there. One of the reasons I came here is to get a new album pressed up, a limited edition copy of my whole album, using the movie as the new album cover, using it as a fundraising tool. That if you want to help these kids by donating, and where I'm from, I say if you donate $50 to my school, then I'll sign one of these new records and send it to you. D.O.C. fans are into that. And $50 is nothing. I think here you're talking about 47 pounds or something like that. So I'll tell all my Englishmen, if you want to help me, help these kids, help me continue to build that bridge from the US to the UK, go to doccares.org and help make that donation, and I'll send you one of these records. Or better yet, next time when I come back in Manchester, I'll be in October. You can come see me and I'll sign it in person.
You heard it here first, man. It's a beautiful thing to see everything that you're doing with the school. Obviously, wish you the best of luck and all of that. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Just a bit of a bonus question, just from a fan's point of view, because I'd like to know. Because you obviously have close relationships with all of them. I kind of want to know your reaction first time you heard No Vaseline.
Well, I breathed a sigh of relief because my name is in it. I went, dodged a bullet with that one. No, bro, how do you not love that record? Like, he tore their ass up. He killed it, I felt bad for my guy.
Yeah, I would have hated to be on the receiving end of that.
And nobody said nothing to him after that. They left him alone. So, but it was a great record.
Definitely. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate the chance. And good luck with everything that you're doing, and hope you enjoy the rest of the time here in Manchester. Boy, Harvey Bishop, Unity Radio. Peace.